Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be all about the 7th week of Air Force Basic Training, which is Beast Week. So basically you're going to pack up everything you need for a mock deployment, which is what Beast Week is. And after you pack everything up into your big green duffel bag, you're going to take a bus to a different location, and that's where you're going to stay for the week, and that is Beast Week. So I went to Beast Week from January 28th to February 1st, which was a Monday through a Friday. So when we first got to Beast, we all went into this room, and they basically gave us a brief, which they called op-ord. I wrote everything down in this little notebook that they make you take with you to Beast, so it's an operations order briefing. They basically go over how the week is going to go. So during Beast Week, there will be no drill movements. It's a no salute area. You'll carry your web belt with you the entire time with 2 canteens, and you'll be keeping track of how much water you're drinking every day with little tick marks on your web belt. And you always need to have your 341s and your black gloves. Those are mandatory items during Beast Week. So Monday, our first day of Beast Week, we mainly just practiced with our mop gear. We had a gas mask carrier on. It kind of goes like around your waist and around your leg, and you have your gas mask in there, and then you only have 9 seconds to pull it out, pull it over your head, tighten it all, and make sure it's on correctly within 9 seconds. And then you also learn about all the different mop levels. So if you just look up mop gear, it'll explain to you that there's different levels to it. So it might be like mop level 3, mop level 4. Those are the terms that we heard when the alarms would go off. They would be like alarm black, mop level 4, and that would tell you the level of gear to put on, basically to protect you from whatever was going on. So on Monday, we just learned all about the mop levels and practiced with our gas mask. So when you're at the dorms, you have ECs, or entry controllers, who stay by the door, and those are like 2-hour shifts when you have your weapon and you're just in charge of only letting the proper people into the dorm. So when you're at Beast Week, you have tent guards, and those are also 2-hour shifts, and if it's not pouring rain or extremely windy or extremely cold, like it would have to be severe conditions for you to stay inside the tent. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting or standing outside the tent for 2 hours. And my shift was from 02:30 to 04:30. It was absolutely freezing during Beast Week. We had tactical vests and helmets on most of the time over our mop gear. Like, there's a lot of gear and different things that you're going to be wearing and doing while you're at Beast Week that you haven't done during the other portion of basic training. So basically for tent guard, you're sitting out there with your uniform, your vest, your helmet, your weapon, and it's just like EC, but for Beast Week. So yeah, you do stay in tents during Beast Week, and our flight was split up into 2 different tents. So during the other portion of basic training, that we had element leaders in the dorm chief, but at Beast Week they're called TDLs, and those are going to be split up into the tents as well. So like not all the TDLs will be in one tent. Those are like kind of the student leaders for Beast Week. During Beast Week, I definitely missed our DFAC. We ate MREs for breakfast and lunch, and you only have about 10 minutes to grab your MRE. We sat back to back in the dirt. We just put our weapons down. It was dark, it was cold, it was early as heck, and they give you 10 minutes to basically warm it up and eat it and have your trash thrown out and your back and formed up. Like, you only have 10 minutes to do all this. So nobody really warmed theirs up. Nobody really ate a lot in general. The MREs, I am not a fan of. There was no MRE that I was like, wow, this one was good, or wow, that one was my favorite. I am not a fan of MREs. I basically survived on like the trail mix that came in it, or Skittles, or peanut butter. Those are like the only things I would eat. I really didn't eat breakfast or lunch during Beast Week, which was terrible because the days are long, you're very active. I so looked forward to dinner every day because that's the only time you got a hot meal. You had a little bit more time to eat, not much, but you learn to eat fast by that point. You've already been doing this for 7 weeks. So the dinners they served were really good. You get plenty of food. It's probably better than DFAC food. It's just fresh and it's hot, and it's something that I look forward to every single day. So pretty much every day at Beast Week, we also practiced our different scenarios that we learned during Fest. So we practiced how to apprehend someone, how to find out if they were friendly or not, things like that. So anything you learn during Fest is going to be applied during Beast Week. Tuesday, the second day of Beast Week, we did combatives, which was probably my favorite part of Beast Week. We didn't get an opportunity to do the pugil sticks, but we did put on boxing gloves and we did combatives. It was really fun. So our flight made a ring around 2 people, and those 2 people basically got a timed fight, so they just got to go at it, and it was really fun. So you did get to pick who you were going to do that with, and most people just picked like someone they knew was close to their size or close to their strength, or someone they just really wanted to fight. So a lot of flights get their aggression out during Beast Week when they get to fight each other. So like I said, every day at Beast Week we pretty much did scenario practice, so I wrote that down again for Tuesday. You spend a good majority of every day wearing mop gear. So wearing mop gear for like 8 hours a day was one of the hardest parts of basic training for me, just because wearing that gas mask for such a long time and not being able to kind of like breathe normally, and feeling claustrophobic because you have so much weight and so much gear and so many things on you, and you just get really hot. I went in the winter. I cannot imagine mop gear in the summer. So we still had details twice a day, just like we did in the dorms. Mine was the day room. So you have a day room at Beast Week, but it's more like, I don't want to say a building because it kind of still feels like it's outside. Everything was dirty. Everything was cold. There's really no inside at Beast Week. So my detail was to basically sweep the day room. It was so dusty. Like, I can still feel the dust. So we had to prop the back door open and the front door open, and there was so much dust in there. It took so long to sweep the day room. We would clean the chairs off. Like, everything was just covered in dust all the time. So my detail was to clean the day room twice a day. So at Beast Week, you don't get protein bars, which I really miss the protein bars. We got a piece of fruit, which was usually an apple, and that's where you go at the end of the day, is the day room. So you get your apple, you get your mail, you get like a debrief for the day, and we watched some seer videos in that room as well. So that's kind of what the day room was used for during Beast Week. So Tuesday was also a run day. And I kind of liked the run during Beast Week because it's not on a track where you're just going in circles for 30 minutes. I personally like running down trails and roads and things like that. Like, I don't like running in circles on a track, so I really liked the run day during Beast Week. Wednesday, I wrote down that we had an early wake up, and during Beast Week, this means 04:45. And then 04:55, they say details go. So you have 10 minutes in the morning to be ready, which is extremely difficult because you're not in your dorm next to your wall locker and you're not next to the bathroom, and there's a lot of people who also have to be ready within 10 minutes. Obviously, you're staying in the tent during Beast Week, and the bathroom. So in the morning, we woke up, we grabbed our trays because you have like foot lockers at the end of your bed, and you have a little hygiene tray in there, so that's where you can put like your toothbrush and your toothpaste and things like that for the morning. So when you wake up, you just get dressed, you grab your tray, and you run to the bathroom, which usually there's already a ton of people in there. You brush your teeth as fast as you possibly can. There's really no room for that many people to brush their teeth in the morning, but you do the best you can. You have to run back, put your tray back, and then get ready to do your details all within 10 minutes. So everything was very rushed, and you have to be on time. You have to stick to the schedule. So because it was so cold during our Beast Week, we had to wear ABUs, Apex, watch cap, gloves, and helmet. So I wrote at 05:25 details were done, and then at 05:30 we would run back to the tower, and that's where we had breakfast. We would just sit in the dirt and try to eat our MREs as fast as possible. So on Wednesday, when we grabbed our MRE for breakfast, we were told to grab 2 MREs and keep one in our cargo pocket. This was the day that we were going to CADM. We were bringing that second MRE with us for lunch. So I wrote down tactical march to the shooting range. They said it was going to be a longer march and that we needed to get to the shooting range as quickly as possible. Everything's always on a timeline during Beast Week. And I would not have called that a tactical march. That was a straight up run to the shooting range. So it was really cold the day we went to the shooting range. I feel like I've said this a million times. It was cold during our Beast Week. It was very cold. But yeah, the shooting range was awesome. So the actual shooting range at Beast Week was unfortunately down while we were there, so we were shooting blanks. But we shot an M4, so we shot laying down, standing up, kneeling, things like that. I'm left-handed, so they took me down to a different side where the left-handed shooters are shooting, but the weapon itself is like ambidextrous, if that makes sense. Like, it doesn't matter if you're left-handed, but they will show you properly how to shoot it if you are left-handed. So the shooting range is an all-day thing, so that's all we did on Wednesday. You're gonna have lunch there, you'll have your MRE, and you'll have plenty of time to eat at this time. So Wednesday was a good day at Beast Week. So we woke up at the regular time on Thursday at 05:45, and then we had breakfast at 05:55, which was an MRE at the base of the tower. It's pretty typical during Beast Week. And then details started at 06:15. Details were done at 06:45. I put exercises at 0700, so that's probably our scenario practices. So this day I wrote down that we got evaluated on our mop gear and scenarios. So there are 4 different zones when you go to Beast Week. You'll be put into a zone and you'll be working with other flights. There is a winner at the end of Beast Week. So the 4 different zones are Reaper, Sentinel, Vigilant, and Phantom. I was in Sentinel. We did not win. We lost a lot of points for stupid things like pointing weapons at things we should not have been pointing weapons at. It was not our flight, but it was still part of our zone, and you are working with other flights. You're all working together, so I don't remember which zone won while we were there, but it was not us. So this is what the t-shirts look like from Beast Week. You can buy one. On the front, it has dog tags because you do get your dog tags at Beast Week, which is like a really special moment. Our MTIs actually came to Beast Week to give us our dog tags. It was like a little ceremony at the end. It was really awesome to be given our dog tags like in a little ceremony from our MTIs, and they just congratulated us. So we had our evaluations on Thursday for mop gear and scenarios and first aid. They picked out random people from each zone or each flight, some males, some females, to basically just get evaluated on everything we've learned as far as mop gear, scenarios, first aid, things like that. That's how they decide which zone has won. It's not solely based on that, but that's a big part of the points. So on Thursday, they also had us march to this village, and this village was set up so that we could walk through and practice other scenarios that we had learned. I don't want to ruin all the surprises for you guys. Thursday night, we also packed and cleaned, which I was very happy about. I was not the biggest fan of Beast Week. You literally sleep on a cot with a mosquito net around you, and it's very uncomfortable. It's not a good time. Alright, so Friday is the Claw, which is the obstacle course, and we probably did like 6 or 7 different obstacles throughout the day, and they're not all right next to each other, so you might have to march for a little bit to get to the next one, and they're all a little bit time consuming. That's not super quick or easy. They are challenging physically, mentally. They're supposed to challenge you, so it's an all-day thing. So the first one that we did was like a teamwork thing where we had to put all these boards together in a certain way or a certain pattern and get across the water. It was something like that. So that was a little bit time consuming, and you all have to work together to get across. So some obstacles are more physically challenging. For one, we had to carry an ammo can and go like over and under these different things. And we had bruises all over us when we left Beast Week. They were all from the Claw. The very last part of the Claw, I will probably never forget, because at this point, you are already tired, you've been doing obstacles all day, and you're hungry, and you just can't wait to be done with Beast Week. So we get to the last obstacle, and they kind of tell you how to go through the entire thing, because it's basically like 5 obstacles within one. So they tell you all the different parts to this last obstacle, and you're like, you've got to be kidding me. There's a lot of crawling, jumping over walls, different things like that. I can't even remember all the different stuff we had to do for the last one, but it was pretty intense, and you feel very proud of yourself when you finish. So the obstacle course is challenging, but it's supposed to be, and you're going to feel awesome once you finish it. So after the Claw was our dog tag ceremony. So our MTIs actually came and gave us our dog tags. There were no other MTIs that came for the other flights, so that was really special to have them call our names, and we go up there and get our dog tags, and they congratulate us for finishing Beast Week, and it's really cool to have your dog tags. We all wore our dog tags after that, so we graduated. Even though we really didn't need to, you're really not supposed to. They're supposed to be locked up in your security drawer, but you're just so proud to have them. Friday, we also went back to the dorms, and everybody was so happy. You will feel like the dorms are like a 5-star hotel after Beast Week. We were so excited to be back. We were so excited to see our MTIs. So those are the main parts of Beast Week. I'm sure I left out tons of details. There's so much that happens day to day, and especially throughout the whole week. So if you guys have any questions or think of anything that I forgot that you want to know more about, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to answer all your guys' questions there. Or you can follow me on Instagram, message me there at Brittany L. Willis. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in my next video all about 8th week. Bye!